Okay, we should finish the Hakdama today. We're at the explanations or the positives, the second set of positives. The first set was why it's good to have haBitachon if you want to be a frumiyid, and now it's just b'chalal for life. So we're up to umehem, ois chof ches in the way it's set up over here. This is the third advantage. He says umehem, of the advantages of having bitachon is menuchas hanefesh ve'aguf, having peace of mind, relaxation in your soul and in your body. To be more relaxed, min hamaisim hakoshim, from the difficult actions, v'hamalachis hamiyagis hagufos, and work that works out the body. He uses a double lashon. A lot of times we have an explanation. Remember, the Chayes also is a rishon. You know, like you're medayik in the oisius and the language of the Rambam and the Ritva and the Rashba, it's from the same time. So it's not stam double the shoyness. But anyway, min hamaisim hakoshim means from difficult maisim, that not necessarily do you have to work physically hard, but it's mentally hard. It takes a lot of focus. It's very draining. It's mentally draining. That's what it means. Min hamaisim hakoshim. Hamalachas hamiyagis hagufos means physically draining. Things that pasha take a lot of energy. So either one of those, if you have bitachon, you will save yourself from doing that kind of work. When you're looking for a parnasa, so some work takes a lot more difficult, a bigger toll on a person's life. So when you have bitachon, you won't need that. You'll stay away from the work of kings, working for kings, and their laws, and stealing. You know, the Gemara says that the chazaka of the tax collectors are thieves because they take more money than they should. You don't have to get involved in that. If you think that this is the only way you're going to get a parnasa, so then you'll end up doing that. But if you have bitachon that's going to come from the Eibishter, why do I have to put myself into something that's so straining and draining and ends up stealing from people? I won't do that. I'll stay away from it. haBiteach b'Hashem, someone who trusts in the Eibishter, uteveya misibos hateref, he looks after causes of sustenance, of earning his parnasa, masheyesh bo yoser menucha legufay. What's going to end up being easier for him? V'shem toivloi. It has a good name. Not because he's looking for a good name, but it's a good name kind of parnasa. It's one that is honorable. So that's the kind that he's going to look for. Pnai leliboy, one that leaves his heart open. His heart isn't so burdened. That's menuchas hanefesh. And what will work with, will allow him to fulfill his obligations of Torah im yeser emunasai, with the rest of his beliefs. So there's two explanations for this. One of the first one explains Torah and the rest of the things you have to do. It's like Torah and mitzvahs. The Pas Lechem, one of the explanations, the famous explanation, says that Yeser Emunasai means by having Im Yeser Emunasai, because he has more emunah, that's why he won't search out and do all of this extra effort. Why? Ki hasiba, very definitive, he says. Ki hasiba, the cause, what your work to earn a living, Loi soisif loi bechukai, will not add how much you get. V'loi techasreyu mimenu, and will not deduct from what you get. Me'uma at all. It doesn't change a fact. It doesn't change a cent. What you do. So it's not such a big focus. Well, how much money I'm going to get from the Eibishter I'm going to get. So why do I have to work like a Meshuggah and take this strenuous work? And it takes me away from being able to focus on other positive things that I have to. Torah, mitzvahs, and real purpose of a person in Olam Hazeh. So I have a responsibility to go make a parnasa. We'll discuss that. You have to put in the work. You can't just sit down and wait for things to come to you. But what kind of avodah I'll take? If I have a boiteach b'Hashem, someone who's bitachon, will search out an avodah that's more beneficial for life. How much money you make is decreed by Hashem, like it says in the pasuk, not from the direction that the sun comes out, or from where the sun sets, and not from the desert. Harim, are we uplifted? It's not from what we're doing in Olam Hazeh that's going to lift us and make us have more earnings. Hashem's the one who judges. This one he puts down, this one he lifts up. It all comes from the Eibishter. But Omar, it says in another pasuk, like you mentioned before, and the pastures and the waters, Hashem takes care of us. So again, this is not, he does mention, he throws in what will allow you to be more fulfilling your chayvus teirasei, even though this is under the category of just life in general. At the end of the day, we're from a Yidden. But the point was that you can take a more calm work. Your whole life can be different. You don't have to be a Meshuggah. Your life turned upside down by the job you take. Not necessarily for Torah, just for living life. Umehen, another advantage, this is the fourth one that he's listing, miyut tsar nafshoin, less pain, damischar, when he's doing business. Again, for a businessman, from the perspective of business, he will have less pain if he at the end of the day knows that the Eibishter is in charge. He knows he has to do work. He has to go, kol tev she'eni malacha, uverachecha Hashem lekecha b'chol hashetase, Hashem gives you bracha in all that you do, you have to go work. But that's why I'm working. I don't have to lose it. If the business is ups and downs or not working exactly as I liked, or merchandise is stuck by him, it's staying there, it's not going, it's not selling, or someone owes him money, he's not able to collect it, he gets all stressed, what's he going to do? The guy's not paying him. Relax. The Eibush is taking care of you. When you need the money, you get the money. Or he gets sick. Because he has bitachon and he knows that Hashem's gonna fix it and taking care of it more than he could himself. And it's being the way the Eibishter wants it. The Eibishter chooses good for him more than he chooses for himself. Like it says, only to Hashem do I place my hope. Because that's where it comes from. So therefore, I'm going to rely on the Eibishter. So it will help for a businessman, right? One of the biggest challenges of being a businessman is staying calm, not losing it. It goes ups and downs. Life isn't so simple. So bitachon will enable the person to be stress-free, to be able to live a normal life and still be involved in business. Umehen. And the last one, again, of the advantages, it happens to be number 5, simchasai, someone who has bitachon will have the ability to rejoice, to be happy, b'chol inyan she'atikeyu elav, anything that he will be placed in, anything that happens to him, he will have simcha. V'im yiyeh keneged tivoi, even if it will go against his nature, against what he would like, against what he's used to, because at the end of the day, he's completely trusting in Hashem. Hashem will do what is good for him in everything. Just like a mother takes care of her, who cares for her child. In washing him, the chituloi is like settling his bones, wrapping it. Kshirase, then after they wrap it, they tie it. Atarase, undoing it. Whatever, all the little things that the mother does for the child. Al karchoi, Nafshi kagamul alei imoy kagamul alei nafshi. I am equal and compared to a young child that his whole faith and trust is on his mother. He completely relies on his mother. So the same thing, talking about, of course, a healthy mother takes care of a child. Same thing, the Eibishter is going to take care of us. So these are the end of the I call it the sales pitch. This is what he's telling you. Listen, you want this kind of life. This is what you need. This is what you'll have if you get bitachon. V'kevan shebayarti. That's why he finishes off. And since I explained to you, mitoyales haBitachon belikim, the benefits of having trust in the Eibishter, v'hanoisav b'Torah, and the benefits, the pleasure that you will get from it in Torah, uba olam, and just living in the world, mashin is damanli, what I have to explain to you. So I've already given you the advantages. Now we're going to get to what bitachon is and how to get there. Now, avar ato, I will explain now me'inyan haBitachon, the concept of bitachon, shiva dvarim, and these are the 7 prakim of Sha'ar haBitachon. He tells you each parak what he's going to explain. Echad me'am, the first parak, which is very short, the shortest one. Mahu haBitachon. What is bitachon? I'm going to define bitachon for you. Hasheni, in the second parak, hasibois haBitachon al abruim. The causes that let you trust a person even. He's going to get to that. Eventually he brings it to the Eibishter. But the things that we have as creations need to have, need to be there so that we can have bitachon. In the third parak, first of all, he's going to explain the introductions, the things that are necessary for us to be able to have bitachon, and chiyuv ha'esek basibos, the obligation to be involved in causes. He uses the term sibos as a cause. We would generally refer to it as making a keli. The obligation to make a keli. Rabbi, the fourth parak is the different parts of life that you need to have bitachon, and the positive and negatives, how much you have to have a keli, how to work it out together with keli and bitachon. So he goes through all of the examples in parak Rabbi. The fifth parak is I'm going to highlight the difference between someone who trusts in the Eibishter in the way he goes about earning a living, and the difference between a person who doesn't have bitachon and gets involved in earning a living. That's the fifth parak. Vashishi, the sixth parak is bebeir ofnei chiyuv ganus das ha'oimrim barichos hatayvos ba'olam. I'm going to talk negatively, the why it's no good. Those that are very involved in the taivos of olam hazeh, and they place their hope, they will get involved in ruchniistic things when they reach what they need begashmi. It's almost like, make sure I have what I need, and then I'll settle down to be from a yid, or I'll be able to learn Torah. Very interesting. He calls them those who take a mashkin. In other words, Eibishter, you want me to do what you want? First, you have to give me what I want. First do what I give me my gashmias, and then I'll do for you. So that he'll speak about in the sixth parak, why that's no good. Vashvi, in the seventh parak, the things that ruin, that get in the way of having trust, and whatever else needs to be spoken about the leftovers of bitachon. So now let's go to parak rishon, shortest parak, very short. Again, he told you what's parak rishon. He's just going to tell you what bitachon. He's going to define it, right? In Hakdama, he convinced you that if you get this thing called bitachon, it's going to be well worth your while, because it's going to change your life. Now, what is this thing of bitachon? So in parak rishon, he says like this: however, mahus haBitachon, The essence of bitachon, the word mahus. We have an Chassidus. The word of mahus comes from mahu. What is it? What is it? Define it. Mahus haBitachon is he ninuchas nefesh haBitach. Bitachon means calmness, relaxation. That's what bitachon is. He's completely relaxed. His heart is completely relying on Misha Beiteach Alav, on the one that he's trusting. Sheyase hatoiv v'hanochin loy. That he will do, the one that you're trusting, will do what is good for you. In what you're trusting. The trust is that I have nothing to worry about. He's going to do what is good for me, as he is able and knows what is going to be my good. So he knows that the one who's being trusted is going to do the utmost good for the one who's trusting. And therefore, the one who's trusting is completely reliant and completely calm and no anxieties and no worries, because the one that he's trusting on will completely take care of him. The main thing, the main thing that will allow the truster to have trust, if this ingredient is missing, it's not possible to have bitachon. You have to be able to be completely reliant, completely trusting the one that you're relying on, sheyakayim ma she'amar, that he will carry out what he says. He's completely reliable. V'yaseh ma she'arav, he will do what he promises. V'yachshoiv alav hatoiv, and he will think what is good for him. So either the boiteach, the one who's trusting, will think that the one he is trusting in will do hatoiv, good, even what he didn't put in the condition. Or it can mean that the one that is being trusted on is thinking about the one that's trusting him, and therefore will do. Bottom line is that the boiteach, the one who's trusting, completely relies on this person, this being, to do even things that he didn't tell him he's going to do. And he didn't promise to do it. He's still going to do it. Nidav v'chesed, kindness. The fundamental concept of bitachon is that I can completely rely and trust on this one that I'm trusting to do what is good for me. But the second part is even if I don't deserve it. Because if it's only if I deserve it, I can't trust. I'll always think I don't deserve it. Right? Shema yigre machet. Maybe I sinned. Maybe I don't deserve it. Bitachon means that there's someone I can rely on that is not going to be nitpicking all of my actions and find reasons why not to give me what I want. Rather, they're going to give it to me even if I don't deserve it. Nidava v'chesed, it's going to be kindness that's going to bring out the good. The Maharal, Ramaral Prague writes that the pasuk says, "Bitchu b'Hashem adeyad." Trust in Hashem. You have to trust the Eibishter forever. Ki Hashem tzur elamim, and that's through that bitachon. Then you will get that the Eibishter will give him in olam hazeh from the olam shekulei toiv, tzur elamim, from the world that is completely good. The Eibishter will give it if you have bitachon. This is a very, very important point, that you should be able to have bitachon even if you don't deserve it. There's the famous sikha from the Rabbi, right? The story with the chassid who had a son who was very not well. Seemed like he wasn't going to survive, and his friends were telling him, go to the Tzemach Tzedek and ask for a bracha, and he said, you can't leave. Who knows, he's going to leave, his child won't survive. They said, no, go, don't worry, you're going to ask a bracha. And he went to the Tzemach Tzedek, and he came to the Tzemach Tzedek, he asked for a bracha, and the Tzemach Tzedek told him, Trach gut v'zayin gut. Think good and it will be good. The Sikha from the Rebbe, how could you be sure that bitachon is going to be good? Maybe you don't deserve it. Maybe it's an aveira. How can you say trach gut v'zayin gut? So here the Nakudi is, that's the whole point of bitachon. The whole point of bitachon is that you'll get it even if you don't deserve it. The dove of a chesed. The Rebbe explains in the Sikha that your bitachon alone is what draws it down. Ayidei haBitachon, that's what brings it. The Eibishter says, you're doing, you're doing something that's abnormal. Yeah, how can you have bitachon in such a matzav? And you're still trusting? I'm also going to do not according to Seder. Maybe you don't deserve it. I'm going to give it anyway. So the bitachon, I think I mentioned it before. It says, haBitachon b'Hashem chesed yisoi vivenu. One who trusts in the Eibishter, kindness surrounds him. Why? Because he's Bitachon b'Hashem. The bitachon alone is what draws it down. But that's the idea, that he has to be able to be sure that the one that you're relying on will give it, even if you don't deserve it. Alter Rebbe, in Igeres HaKodesh, Perek Aleph, says that when a person has bitachon, that everything from the Eibishter is good, you reveal the hidden toiv. That's in Elam Hazeh. You bring out, in other words, the bitachon that is going to be toiv actually brings out the toiv that is hidden, that it should be revealed. So that's the principles of what is bitachon. That a person is completely relaxed, that the one he's relying on will absolutely do everything that he said he'll do, and even more, and even if he doesn't deserve it. That's what bitachon is. Now we move on to Perek Sheni. Achasibois, again, I want to explain. He didn't yet say that the one you're having bitachon on is in the Eibishter. He doesn't go there yet. And again, I'm saying it clearly the way I understand it. Make it like... he first tells you why it's good. It's not milmaila lamata, it's milmata lamayla. First he tells you how it's worthwhile for you to have bitachon. Then he goes and says, this is what bitachon is. And now he's going to explain the conditions that are necessary to be able to have bitachon. You want to trust in someone? Who do you want to trust in? Your parents? You want to trust in your friend? You want to trust in your local gvir? Fine. Whoever it is you want to trust. These are logically, that's a very important point here, logically, these are the conditions that the one you're trusting in must have. And if he doesn't have them, there's no way you can trust him. Logically, whoever it is you want to trust. Achasibois, the causes. Asher bohen yitochen haBitachon mi'haBitech al habruim, that the truster can trust a creation al habruim. Hein sheva, there's 7. You understand? Understand? Al habruim. He's not telling you it's a spiritual mitzvah over here. You want to trust a creation, gesundheit, right? But I'm going to explain to you logically, this person that you want to trust must have these 7 conditions. Achas me'en. The first one is harachamim. The person that you're trusting must be merciful. V'achemla. Similar. I think maybe the translation might be empathy. Mercy, empathy, feels for the other person. V'ha'ava, and love. The person that you're trusting must love you, must care about you, must be a nice person to you. Ki ha'adam kishehu yedea b'chaveira, because a person who knows about his friend, shehu merachem v'choym alav, he cares about him. If that way you can trust him. V'tanuach nafshei alav, and you can rely on him. B'chol ma she'aticheyu mi'inyonav, anything that he will burden him and make him work. So in order for you to be able to trust him, what do you need? He has to care about you. First rule, you have to find someone who cares about you. Okay. Right? You understand that? If a person doesn't care about you, you can't rely on him. Understood? Logically, a person has to rely, has to care about you. Hashenis, the second condition that he has to have is Sheyiyeh yodea boy, that you should know about this person, ima avosoi, together with the fact that he loves you, sheinenu mis'ala mimenu, he's not going to turn away from you, he's not going to not pay attention, and he's not going to be lazy to carry out what you want. He knows about him, so he's going to try, and he's going to be interested in helping you. Right? You can have a person who cares deeply, but is lazy. Isn't going to actually get up and do anything. They care, but whatever. Really care, not fake. It's not enough to care. You have to be active. You have to be involved. So, not only active, but also involved. Key, because if you're not going to be clear about these two conditions, logically, again, you can't fully rely on him. Because you know that he turns away, doesn't look. His weakness, in his desire. He has cheftzah. He cares for you. He's interested, but he's weak on it. But the one who's trusting, when he has together, the one that he is trusting, these two conditions. One, love, his great mercy that he cares, and he's actively involved. So then you can rely on him, right? You can have a very active person who's very involved, but he doesn't care about you. You can't rely on him. Or you can have a person who cares about you, but he's lazy, he's not so active. So you understand how logically both of these conditions have to be there. He has to care about you and has to be involved. Hashlishis. Okay, so let's say we get someone who cares and is involved, but perhaps he's not able. Hashlishis, the third condition is sheyiyeh chazak. He has to be powerful. Lo yinutzach b'asher chafetz. He will not be won over against something that he wants to do. If he wants to do it, nothing's stopping him. Nothing can hold him back from doing the desire, the will, the request of the trusting person. Okay, so you can have someone who cares deeply for you. You can have someone who's actively going to do whatever they can for you, but in Payil Mamish, they can't get it done. Something gets in the way and they won't be able to do it. Can you rely on that person? So you can rely he cares of you. You can rely that he's going to do something, but you can't rely that it's going to happen because he can't carry it out. Kim yeh chalosh, because if he's going to be weak, lo yishlam haBitachon alav. I can't have complete bitachon on him. Afal pishin is better, even though it is clear to me. Shehu merachem, he's caring, umashgiach, and involved. Most of the time, he's not going to be able to carry out what he wants. It's going to be withheld from him. So, when he gets these three things, and then it's more fitting that I can have bitachon. So the first one is, he has to care. Second has to be involved. And he has to be able. He has to be capable. Okay, Haravias. Let's say I have a guy who cares, who's involved, and capable. But Haravias, the next condition is, Sheyodea. He has to actually know. Someone's not feeling well, he gets a doctor who's a Rabbi, he's a friend, he'll come over, he'll help him, and he's capable of writing prescriptions and whatever. He doesn't know what's wrong. He doesn't know what's wrong with the person. He doesn't know which prescription to give him. He doesn't know. You have to push. Not only do you have to be able and capable, you have to be knowledgeable. Haraviya, Sheyodea, he has to know in which manner he'll be able to help. Which medicine's going to help him. Which thing to tell him. It won't be hidden from him what is good for this person. What's hidden what's revealed, sometimes it looks fakert, right? Something looks like it's good and really it ends up being bad. Sometimes something looks like it's bad and really it's very good. The person has to know, not be fooled by the externals. He has to be able to see deeply in to know whether something is really good or not. What's going to be good for him. Because if he's not going to know all of this, he can't be trusted. Again, I love the guy. He really cares for me. He's involved. He's active. But I'm not going to be calm. I'm still going to be nervous. Maybe the guy's doing the wrong thing for me. Yeah, whatever he decides to do, no one's getting in his way. But how do I know that he's deciding to do the right thing? So when he has all of these four conditions, he's involved in his benefits. He knows what to do. He's capable of carrying it out. He's involved. And he cares. And for sure, he will strengthen his bitachon in him. The fifth one is an interesting one. It says like this. That he should be unique in his care for him from when he was born. I'll say it's like experience. The person has been involved. You're trusting someone? Usually, healthy relationships, the person's born, they trust their parents. They know them from when they're kids, they know from when they're little, they trust them to a certain extent. And then there becomes, obviously, at some point in your age, you realize, no, my parents aren't so chazak. They're not capable of doing everything, and maybe not Yedeya everything. They definitely qualify, healthy parents qualify for the first two, but lav dafka, the other ones. So here, it's the fifth one is that this person that I'm relying on has been involved with me. Vigiduloi, in my growth. Yankusoi, from when he's an infant. Na'arusoi, becomes a child. Bacharusoi, when he's a young adult. Vishishusoi, when he's an adult. Viziknosoi, old age. Ad tachlis enyone, till the ultimate. So the one that you're relying on knows you, has been involved with you. There's experience. So you'll be able to rely on him. When all of this will be clear to the one who's trusting, it will be clear, obligatory, that you rely on him. You lean on him because of everything he did to you until now. The extra good, the regular benefits. It will obligate you to have bitachon. So there's the experience element. The one who's already been there, done that, been involved, helped you, and then you're able to trust him. Two more. Hashishis. The one that you are trusting has to be fully in charge. Completely in charge of the one that's trusting him. No one else is capable of harming or helping. Not to bring good to him or push away bad. Except for him. Like an imprisoned slave, that's in the pit, in his master's field. And no one else can help him. Again, why? If let's say me, I'm relying on Ruvain. But if Shimon can also help me, or if Shimon can get in the way, and shtel fislach, or bother me, or make things not work, so am I going to fully trust Ruvain? Can I fully trust Ruvain? No, because maybe Shimon will. The only way I can fully trust someone is if they're all in charge, and there's no one else. There's no two cooks. The buck stops here. one guy's in charge. No one else can do anything. Then I can trust you. If other people are also, so then if a slave has two masters, okay, so he's not fully relying on one. If I can convince the other one. Now it works in a house, right? If it's mother and father on the same page, so then you're up against a stone wall. You come to ask your father, can I do this? And he says no. Okay, that's it. The answer is no. But if you can go to mommy, and mommy will say, oh, maybe yeah. So then you're not at the end of the... you're not relying on your father. You can go to your mother. You can play mommy and tati back and forth. If you want to be fully reliant on someone, then that person has to be fully in charge. No one else can help or harm. And when the one who's trusting will be in the person that he's trusting's hands, like this, it is more fitting to be able to trust. Again, if you have a question, ask, but this is logical. It's all logic. We're not in haBitachon anywhere yet. This is all logical. Not that that's not logical, but it's very laying out the rules that are necessary by the one you're trusting in a very logical manner. Hashvi is the last one. The one you're trusting has to be betachlis and divus v'achesed, has to be the ultimate of kindness and giving. Someone who deserves it, and also someone who doesn't deserve it. The Rebbe quotes this in the Sikha. You see that bitachon is not only if you deserve it, right? Even Shema Yigre Machet. No, you're able to have bitachon that even if you don't deserve it. So this person has to be someone who is the ultimate of giving, even if you don't deserve it. His kindness and giving has to be constant. Lo yikanes v'lo yipasek, never to stop. Again, if I think for a moment that the person I'm trusting in, if he finds a reason of something that I did wrong, won't do it, can I trust him? Can I be sure that it'll work out? No, because maybe I did something wrong. And if I did something wrong, he's not going to do it for me. The only way I can have full bitachon is if I know for a fact that my mistakes and my bad and the things I did wrong will not prevent the person from helping me. So it's a logical condition. It must be that they will do it no matter what. Now, so he says the 7 conditions, and now he says, anyone who has all of these behaviors, with everything that we mentioned earlier, we've completed the conditions of trust, and you can trust him. You're obligated to trust this person. If you find someone that has these 7 conditions, you are logically you're obligated to rely on him, right? Because whatever happens, he's going to take care of you. No one's going to stop him. No one's going to get in the way. No one else can help you but him. And he knows what he's doing. And whether you deserve it or not. You find someone who has these 7 conditions, logically you trust them. You rely on him in revealed and in hidden, their heart and limbs. You're completely connected. You're going to want all of his decrees. You're going to judge him for good. You're going to see all the good because you're going to know whatever he's doing is for your benefit. Because this is the one who's taking care of you. You understand? You will understand in a moment that no human being has these 7 conditions. But that's the next step. The first step is explaining to you logically, it could be a person. You go to the haBitachon. Do you want to rely on someone? But here I'm putting forth 7 conditions that logically must be there. If any one of them is missing, you can't rely on the person. If you want to rely on someone and he has 6 of these 7 conditions, you will not be able to fully rely on him. You can only fully rely on someone that's bitachon, complete trust, if they complete reliance, if they have all 7 of them.